my thought process into creating this travel study group was to globalize students in Detroit, to give them a chance to learn about different cultures, the similarities, to celebrate that, and to respect the differences of all of our cultures. In 1998, I took a job at an all-male high school. Football players, basketball, track stars. My job was to give them a cultural curriculum. Well, that's not what they wanted, but that's what they were getting. I went in, and as I pushed, they pulled. My job was to dig down deep and find the artist in them. Needless to say, I won because they started to create Monets and Picassos and Jacob Lawrences. During that time, I was in my last semester of graduate school at Wayne State. And you need a job, you need to get money, it's your graduate school, you're getting ready to graduate. So I took the job. I was a little bit hesitant because I never taught school, but I knew that I was going to go in there and show them that art would change their lives because art changed my life. Some years before I went to school, I received, I was a victim of a gunshot in my neck, and I was paralyzed for nearly a year. After I recovered, the last thing to become mobile was my hand. And I asked God, why was I still here? A lot of people die, a lot of people don't recover when they're paralyzed. And I started to dream that I was an artist. I was standing at what I know now as an easel, and I was painting. So this was a reoccurring dream. I heard about College of Creative Studies, and I went over there and I said, I'm supposed to be an artist. So, I'm supposed to be in this college, So, needless to say, I was turned down 4 times because I didn't know anything about art. But it was this one lady that I convinced her that it was my destiny to be an artist, and she asked me, could I graduate? And I had my brother with me, and he said, yes, she can graduate. She lives her life like a movie. She can do anything. So she let me into college. I got into college not knowing that you were supposed to be an artist already, right? Everybody in the college was an artist, and I was like, to my mother, like, I'm kind of hesitant because I don't know anything about art. And she said, well, just go to the professors, and if they're real teachers, they will take out time to teach you. So I met a teacher named Gilda Snowden. Yeah. So I went to her and I said, I'm sorry to say, I don't know anything about art, but I got into college. And she took out the time, extra time, to teach me about art. She taught me about the whole art community. She let me meet people in the art community that embraced me and that taught me. So I was like, oh, okay, this is good, right? So as I was graduating, I was coming into my own. I started to get the courage to create. And they made me think that my creations were important. So the thing that I started to use in my artwork was my left hand because that was the last thing to become mobile. So it was a hand of faith for me. Now, as I taught high school, I was able to use that same process, using the hands, when the tragedy of 9/11 hit, when the call for all teachers to do something to help their students deal with the emotions that we were going through as a country. And what we did, me and my students, was that we cut out hands, we traced hands of all of the teachers staff members and the students, and we created a 9.5 by 11-foot flag with the hands holding each other, which created a unity and a sign of hope. And it is in the Children's Museum. After that, I started to think, now we always label kids, ADD, ABC, whatever. But, when we were in school, when I was in school, they wouldn't label me the A through Z's. They would have just put me out of school if they could have labeled me. But back then, they didn't label. But I think that's the thing about being a creator, being an artist, being an innovator, that you're always thinking, but people don't understand why you're always reinventing. So after teaching some years, about 9 years, I started to get bored. Teaching art, teaching about art icons, Mona Lisa, just the same old. And then I started to think, will my students ever see these icons? Will they ever experience the culture that this art sits in? Maybe not, but I'm going to find a way for them to do that. But first, we have to have certain things we have to do. We have to have language classes. As you can see, we have to have photography classes because they had to keep a journal, a written journal, and a photography journal on these trips. So I came in one day and I said, do y'all want to go on a field trip? And they said, yeah. The population that I was teaching was 14 to 19 years old, low skills, kind of an alternative school, bad behavior. So I said, do you want to go on a field trip? They said, yeah, anything to get out of school. I said, okay, let's go to see the Mona Lisa. Let's go find Mona Lisa. And they said, okay, where is she? I said, she's in Paris. She's in the Louvre. They said, we're going to Paris? I said, yeah, let's go to Paris. So that's how I live. So through community effort, parent support, selling a pizza here or there, but mostly selling some of my artwork, we raised the money, and in 2007, we traveled to Paris. Also, I had to mention, they have to do community service also, because you have to give back to your community. So we went to Paris. Okay, we went to the Louvre, we found the Mona Lisa. The students didn't believe it was the Mona Lisa because it was too small, right? They conquered some of their fears because they were scared to go up in the Eiffel Tower, The Eiffel Tower is scary. And I had these big football players just sweating, scared to go up in the Eiffel Tower, but I could not let them leave Paris without conquering that fear and without going in the Eiffel Tower. I said, I swear to you, you're going to talk about this for the rest of your life, So they did it, which was great. Of course, we found Starbucks in the Louvre, okay? There's a Starbucks. We couldn't believe it, but I was happy. The next year, we went to Barcelona, a different group of kids, about 11 kids. So we went to Barcelona, listened to the Spanish guitar, went to the Picasso, sat on a rooftop of a Gaudi, just amazing things. And to watch them take on this culture, to watch them drop that type of tough exterior that sometimes you have to have in the inner city was amazing. As you can see, they grasped, and this group right here took 2 years of Spanish. When we got to Barcelona, the only thing I heard was hola. And I told them I didn't want to hear that again. Okay. We walked through Spain. They swear we was lost. We lost, Miss Rainey. No, we're in Spain, We walking through Spain, and we come upon a neighborhood with guys playing basketball, which was awesome. I mean, this is their thing. They like, can we play? Can we play? I said, now this is where you understand that you are not representing Detroit, you're representing the United States of America. And if you, if you get out there and lose, I'm gonna leave you right here, you know. Needless to say, they won, right? The next year, we went to Japan. The economy was a little bad. People wasn't giving as much, but I got a few students to Japan. They took on a culture. We see sumo wrestlers exercising. They were kind of skinny, so they weren't sumo wrestlers yet. We went to the theater. We embraced the peace of Japan. The landscaping, everything was about, and we found Mona Lisa also in Japan. Everything was about the honor system. If the light was red, the people didn't cross. Only my kids in the street. Hey, Miss Rainey, come on. Nobody's in the street. Yeah. I said, can you see that the people don't cross? The next day, they didn't cross the street, okay? This year, we went to Egypt. Egypt was an awesome trip. You know, we was in the cradle of civilization. We seen pyramids that we never thought we would see. You know, it was hot. Now, the kids rode camels near the pyramids. They swam in the Nile. We went to see King Tut. We went down in the tomb and we seen King Tut. I mean, we went down in the earth. It was hot. We bent our bodies. We going down. Now, remember, I got these big old boys. They're going down, going down. Miss Rainey, please. No, come on. Going down, going down. Yeah. We get down, and I'm saying, oh, the child king. I'm so excited. They look at me and say, did you bring us down here to see this burnt up body? I said, oh, Lord. I said, you're going to embarrass me in front of all these people? Come on. So I said, you're going to understand when you get to college. And all of these students are in college now, and they call me, and they say, guess what my first test was? The students that are in Egypt. My first test was on Egypt. And I got an A, thank God. So, they're sitting on we seen sculptures bigger than buildings, you know, that they had dug out of the sand. These photo journals and these written journals, the written journals was to calm the students so that they can write about everything that they were learning. The photo journals so that they can remember through their eyes what they saw and what they embraced. Now, all of these places were different cultures, and my students embraced those cultures, even though they were nothing like Detroit, nothing like Detroit, nothing like they've known. They embraced those cultures. That's them swimming in now, okay. You can see they still cool with the sunglasses, right? Keep it Detroit cool. All right, but the most exciting thing is when they graduate and they go off to college. Now, art changes lives. I know that. When you change the vision of our young people, you change the thought process. Eventually, it changes the heart, which ultimately changes their lives, and they become the change we need in the world. Finding Mona Lisa, urban students become global scholars. Good morning, my name is Jocelyn Rainey. Thank you.